All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're talking about something you probably have in your hand right now, your smartphone. We all know they're incredible, but what's the hidden cost? What's the biological price we're paying for being so connected?
So let's just start with this number. On average, you spend between 4 and 7 hours a day looking at that little screen. For teenagers, that can shoot up to over 9 hours. I mean, think about that. That is a huge chunk of our waking lives where our phone is basically an extension of our body.
Of course, there are amazing benefits to this connection, but today we're digging into the other side of the coin, the quiet, creeping toll it takes on our bodies and our minds. So, what does the science actually say is happening to us?
Okay, let's kick things off with the stuff you can probably feel right now, the physical effects. We're talking about the mechanical strain on our posture and our joints that just builds and builds, minute by minute, day after day.
Now, this is where it gets kind of wild. Your head weighs around 5 kilos, right? But just tilt it forward 15 degrees to look at your phone, and the force on your neck more than doubles to 12 kilos. And if you go down to a 60-degree angle, which a lot of us do, that's 27 kilos of pressure. Yeah, that's literally like having an 8-year-old sitting on your neck for hours.
And all that constant pressure, well, it's so common now that doctors have given it a name, text neck syndrome. Over time, this can lead to some serious issues like chronic pain, compressed discs in your spine, and even early arthritis.
And hey, it's not just your neck. Think about what your hands are doing all day. Non-stop scrolling, tapping, swiping. These thousands and thousands of tiny repetitive movements put a huge strain on the delicate muscles and tendons in your hands, which can lead to really painful conditions like tendinitis, carpal tunnel, and even wear and tear on your thumb joint.
Okay, so moving on from our muscles and joints, let's talk about our senses. Specifically, how our screens are messing with two of the most important things we do, seeing and sleeping. And this is all about light, and a pretty weird change in our own behavior.
Check this out, because this is a huge part of the problem. Normally, you blink about 15 to 20 times a minute. It's like your eye's own little cleaning and moisturizing system. But when you're staring at a screen, that rate just plummets to only 5 to 7 times a minute. That's a massive drop, and it's a direct cause of what we call digital eye strain, that feeling of dryness, burning, and even headaches.
And then there's the big one, blue light. Your body is a natural clock that's tuned to sunlight. When you scroll through your phone in bed, that bright blue light hits your eyes and sends a signal straight to your brain. And your brain basically gets a message saying, hey, it's the middle of the day. Wake up. Stop making that sleepy hormone melatonin. The result? You fall asleep later, and the sleep you do get isn't as deep.
So this next part is maybe the most important, because it's not just physical. We're talking about how these little devices are literally changing the chemistry of our brains. They're rewiring our internal reward system. You see, every single time your phone buzzes or pings, your brain gets a tiny hit of a chemical called dopamine. It's a pleasure chemical. This creates a really powerful feedback loop, and what makes it so addictive is that it's unpredictable. You never know if that buzz is a boring work email or an exciting text. It's exactly like a slot machine. That unpredictability is what keeps you pulling the lever, or, checking your phone.
And look, this isn't just some theory. Check out these numbers from a study on university students. Over half of them, more than 55%, reported feeling more anxious because of their phone use, and just about as many said it was causing them to lose concentration.
This has gotten so real that science has an official name for it, problematic smartphone use, or PSU for short. Basically, it's a behavioral addiction where your phone use starts to get in the way of your actual life, your focus, your relationships, even your memory.
All right, so that all sounds a little doom and gloom, right? But the point of this isn't to scare you, it's to empower you. So let's talk about some simple, science-backed ways to get back in the driver's seat and use this technology wisely.
First things first, let's clear the air about something a lot of people worry about, radiation. It's really important to know there are two main types. Phones give off low-energy, non-ionizing radiation. Unlike high-energy radiation like X-rays, it just doesn't have enough juice to damage your DMA. Its main effect is just heating up tissue, and only by a tiny, tiny amount.
So what's the bottom line? Well, while scientists never say there's zero risk, after years and years of research, there is no strong, consistent evidence linking phone radiation to cancer. The real proven danger isn't the radiation, it's the behavior. It's how we overuse them.
Okay, so how do we fight back against those real dangers? For your neck, the fix is so simple. Just hold your phone up.
Bring it to eye level instead of hunching over. And every so often, just take a second to stretch your neck and your wrists. Simple as that.
Now for your eyes, this is my favorite tip. It's called the 20-20-20 rule, and it's a total game changer. It's so easy. Every 20 minutes you're on a screen, just look away at something about 20 feet in the distance and hold that for 20 seconds. That's it. It lets your eye muscles relax and reminds you to blink.
And finally, to get your sleep back on track, this is probably the single most powerful thing you can do. Create a phone-free buffer before bed. Try to put it away at least an hour before you want to sleep. Maybe even get an old-school alarm clock and leave your phone out of the bedroom entirely. It lets your brain naturally wind down for a much better night's rest.
So when you look at it, this isn't about ditching our phones. They're amazing tools. It's about being mindful. It's about understanding what's happening to our bodies and brains so we can stay in control. Which really leaves just one question for you to think about. Is your phone working for you, or are you working for it?